Stop. Don't scroll past this. Pause for a moment and listen, because this is not coincidence. This is not something you just happen to see. You may think you found this message, but the truth is, I brought you here. In the middle of your thoughts, in the middle of your distractions, in the quiet noise of your day, I stepped in and called your attention. You didn't arrive here by accident. This moment was chosen for you. Right now, as you hear these words, something deeper inside you is stirring, something you've been trying to ignore. You feel it, don't you? That gentle pull, that quiet whisper, that sense that there is something more, something you've been turning away from without even realizing it. I am closer to you than you think, closer than the air filling your lungs, closer than the thoughts forming in your mind. And yet, even with my nearness, you felt distance. Not because I am moved, but because something within you began to step back. You didn't mean to. It wasn't a conscious decision. It happened slowly, quietly, through the weight of life, through the distractions, through the moments when everything felt too heavy and too unclear. And so you drifted, just a little at a time. You kept going, kept pushing forward, but something inside you knew there was a gap forming, a space where connection used to be. And instead of facing it, you tried to fill it with noise, with busyness, with anything that would keep you from having to stop and feel it. But I see you. I see beyond the surface, beyond the routine, beyond the mask you wear for others. I see the part of you that still longs, the part that still wonders, the part that quietly asks, "Where are you?" Even when your lips don't say the words. And I am telling you now, clearly, unmistakably, I am here. I have always been here. This moment, right now, is proof of that. I am reaching for you, not from a distance, but from right beside you. So don't turn away this time. Don't brush this off as just another video, just another voice. This is personal. This is intentional. This is your moment to stop running, to stop avoiding, to stop pretending you don't feel what you feel. Because something is about to shift, and it begins with your willingness to stay just a little longer and listen. You've been trying to hold everything together, haven't you? Carrying weight that no one else can see, pushing through days that feel heavier than you expected, pretending you're fine even when something inside you feels off. You wake up, you move, you speak, you smile, but deep within, there's a quiet exhaustion that never fully leaves. It's not just physical. It's deeper than that. It's the kind of tired that settles into your spirit, the kind that makes even simple things feel overwhelming. And you haven't known how to explain it, so you've kept it to yourself. You've learned to function through it, to survive through it, but you haven't truly been at peace. There have been moments when your thoughts felt crowded, when your heart felt pulled in too many directions, when clarity seemed just out of reach. You've questioned your decisions, doubted your path, wondered if you're falling behind or missing something important. And in those quiet moments, when everything slows down, a deeper feeling rises, one you don't always want to face. It's that sense of distance, that subtle ache that whispers something isn't as it should be. You've tried to ignore it, to distract yourself from it, but it keeps finding its way back to you. You've also felt alone in ways that are hard to describe. Even when people are around you, even when conversations are happening, there's a part of you that feels unseen, unheard, disconnected. You've carried emotions you couldn't fully express, thoughts you didn't know how to put into words. And sometimes, you've wondered if anyone truly understands what's going on inside you. You've even wondered if I understand, if I see, if I'm still close. And then there are the moments when you tried to reach for me, but it felt like silence met you. You expected something. an answer to sign a sense of relief, but instead you felt nothing. And that confused you. It made you question whether you were doing something wrong, whether you had drifted too far, whether you had somehow lost the connection you once felt. So instead of leaning in, you slowly began to pull back. Not out of rejection, but out of uncertainty. Not because you stopped caring, but because you didn't know how to keep going when it felt like I wasn't responding. But I see all of it. I see the questions you never asked out loud. I see the tears you held back. I see the moments you almost broke but kept going anyway. You were never weak for feeling this way. You were human, carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. And in that weight, in that confusion, in that quiet struggle, you didn't lose me. You didn't push me away as far as you think. You were overwhelmed, and in that overwhelm, you simply lost sight of how close I still am. Something is happening right now, and you can feel it if you stop long enough to pay attention. There is a shift taking place, not somewhere far away, not at some distant time, but here, in this very moment, within you. That uneasiness you've been feeling, that quiet stirring you couldn't explain, that sense that something is about to change, it's not your imagination. It's not random. It's me moving, gently, but intentionally, drawing your attention back to where it has always belonged. And this moment, this exact second you're in, is more important than you realize. You've been standing at a crossroads without even seeing it clearly. One path is familiar. It's the one filled with distractions, noise, and distance. It's the path where you keep pushing forward without ever slowing down enough to truly reconnect, where you silence what you feel because it's easier than facing it. That path feels safe because it's known, because you've been walking it for a while now. But it's also the path that has left you feeling empty, disconnected, and searching for something you couldn't quite name. The other path is different. It's quieter but stronger. It requires you to stop, to listen, to turn back instead of continuing to drift. And that's why it feels uncomfortable, because it asks something of you. It asks you to be present. It asks you to acknowledge what you've been avoiding. It asks you to respond to me. And right now, you are closer to choosing than you think. That's why you cannot treat this moment lightly. That's why you cannot dismiss this as just another message, just another passing feeling. Because if you do, you risk slipping back into that same cycle. The one where you ignore the pull, where you silence the whisper, where you convince yourself you'll come back later. But later keeps getting pushed further away, doesn't it? And the longer you wait, the easier it becomes to stay distant. Listen carefully. This is not pressure, but it is urgency. There is a difference. I am not forcing you, but I am calling you. And when I call, it matters. When I reach, it is not without purpose. There are things unfolding that you cannot yet see, pieces moving into place that depend on your willingness to respond. If you walk away now, you won't lose me, but you may delay what I am preparing for you. You may miss the fullness of what could begin right here. So stay. Don't rush past this feeling. Don't close this voice. Let it settle in you. Let it reach the places you've been guarding. Because what comes next is something you need to hear, something that will make sense of everything you've been feeling. And if you leave too soon, you won't understand why this moment found you or what it was trying to awaken inside you. I need you to hear this clearly, without doubt, without distortion, without the weight of your past trying to rewrite it. I never left you. Not in your lowest moment, not in your confusion, not in the silence that made you question everything. While you were wondering where I was right there, closer than your breath, steady when everything in you felt unstable. Every moment you thought you were walking alone, I was carrying parts of you that you didn't even realize were breaking. Every tear you held back, every silent cry you buried, every night you lay awake with thoughts you couldn't quiet, I saw it all. And not once did I turn away from you. The distance you've been feeling, it was never me creating it. It was the weight you were carrying clouding your vision. It was the fear that told you to withdraw. It was the exhaustion that made you stop reaching. You didn't lose the connection, you just lost clarity. And when clarity fades, it's easy to believe the lie that you've been abandoned. But you were never abandoned. You were surrounded by my presence even when you couldn't feel it. Everything you've been through, every delay, every moment that didn't make sense, every closed door, every unanswered question, it all had meaning. Nothing was wasted. The pain didn't disqualify you. The silence didn't mean absence. The waiting didn't mean rejection. I was working in ways you couldn't see, aligning things you didn't understand, protecting you from paths that would have broken you in ways you weren't prepared for. What felt like stillness was not emptiness, it was preparation. And now, something is shifting. Not someday far away, not at a time you have to keep waiting for, but now. The very fact that you are here, listening, feeling this stirring again, is evidence that the connection was never lost. I am drawing you back, not because you failed, but because you are ready. Ready to see differently. Ready to feel again. Ready to step out of that quiet distance and into something deeper, something real, something alive. You don't have to clean yourself up before coming back. You don't have to have perfect words or perfect understanding. You don't have to prove anything. All I'm asking is that you stop running, that you stop turning away when you feel my presence, that you allow yourself to come closer again. Not in fear, but in trust. Not in pressure, but in peace. This is your moment of return, not to something new, but to what has always been there waiting for you. And as you step toward me, even in the smallest way, you will begin to feel what you thought was gone. Not all at once, not in a rush, but steadily, deeply, undeniably. Because I am still here. I have always been here. And now you are finally beginning to see it. Now don't turn away from this moment. Not this time. You've come too far, and you've felt too much to go back to ignoring what your spirit is telling you right now. This is not just another message you listen to and move on from. This was meant for you. Right here, in this exact moment of your life, when you needed clarity, when you needed to feel my nearness again, when you needed to be reminded that you are not alone and never have been. So respond. Not for anyone else, not for appearances, but for your own heart. Type, "I'm coming back," and let that be more than words. Let it be your decision. Let it be your turning point. Let it mark the moment you stopped drifting and started returning. You don't need to understand everything right now. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to stay. Stay present. Stay open. Stay willing. Because I am near you, even now, and I am not moving away. And as you stand in this moment of return, hear this. What you do next matters beyond what you can see. When you choose to support this message, you are not just giving. You are sowing into lives that are still lost, still searching, still waiting for this exact encounter. I am stirring something within you even now, a quiet voice saying, I want to help others hear this too. That desire is not random. That is me inviting you into my work. As it is written, give, and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and I am speaking that promise directly over you. When you release what is in your hand, I release what is in mine. There are souls on the edge of giving up who will find light because you chose to act in this moment. There are hearts that will turn back because you refuse to scroll past obedience. This is your seed. This is your offering. This is your participation in something eternal. Do not delay it. Do not question it. The PayPal link is in the description, and the QR code is before you. Step into it now. And as you give, I will multiply it. I will breathe on it, and I will return it to you in ways that overflow beyond what you expect.